Hi, my name is Jessica Ricci, and today I'm going to be talking about providing internet to the world. The world today has been forever changed by the invention of the internet in 1983. The internet is now a huge part of our daily lives, not only for our personal use, but also for the use of national security and public safety. The internet has connected the world in ways we could not fathom before its fabrication. The internet can bring two people millions of miles away face to face in real time. With the enormous effect on society today, there is a huge demand in the developing world for internet to be accessible. There are programs in place in California and in India to make the internet not just a privilege but a right. The internet is so vital to education in the developing countries would benefit greatly from providing it to its people in hopes to bring the quality of life that they have to acceptable levels. It can provide the education to prevent diseases and also increase literacy rates. With that being said, it is important that the internet is brought to everyone, not just the 40% of the world that has access to it now. According to a source called the Internet Society, over 59% of the continent of the internet is made up of the English language. This means that countries that are developing do not have content out there on the internet that can be read by its people. The vast presence online is that of English-speaking nations or first world countries. Further driving home the fact that the internet is something that needs to be introduced and more widespread throughout the world. Internet on the continent of Africa is that least prevalent. In some cases, there is no data on its use. It is places like this that need the internet the most. Though it's hard to draw the connection, it says a lot about the link between Africa's literacy rates, which are lowest in all of the 6 continents that are habitable, and internet access across the world, being the lowest in Africa. In this part of my speech, I would like to address the reasons why internet access is scarce in developing countries. Most people in developing countries live on less than $40 a month. Most computers on average cost $300 a month, so it makes it very hard for people in these countries to access computers. In countries like Guinea and Somali and Burundi, there are wars going on that affect the infrastructure of government, making it hard to stabilize the economy enough to provide internet access. Lastly, people in these countries are not focused on education, but on survival, because the quality of life there is so low that they cannot hope to achieve more than their basic survival needs. I would also like to speak on how important it is to make the introduction of the internet to the developing world. Not only would the individual countries benefit from their citizens being informed, but it could also bring down tyrannical regimes much in the same way that ISIS is operated solely online. And it could possibly stop the spread of diseases like HIV by increasing literacy rates and therefore increasing awareness on how diseases are spread. The internet has helped many people communicate and create ideas and share information. This is something that developing countries desperately need to get their leg up. There are so many people who did not get a proper education and do not know things that could possibly save their lives. The internet is a source of that connection. Theoretically, it can stop the spread of widespread diseases like HIV and herpes. The internet would vastly improve the low quality of life in developing countries through the spread of information and ideas. With knowledge comes power. I would also like to address ways in which governments can provide internet access to developing countries. Also, profitable charities can do that. The World Internet Project is a website dedicated to helping solve the internet problem or considered crisis in the world. There are programs already in place by the UN that are making strides in getting internet to the masses. Government organizations as well as private charities would need to personally send people out to village centers to provide internet in library-type settings where people can gather to access the web. The only problem with this is that these public access points will have to be able to withstand violence and unrest that is common for these countries that do not have full access to the web. In conclusion, the web is the epicenter for the world to gather information and news and ideas. The internet shapes the world and how people view it, and also makes it possible to connect with people from all over the world in one place. The internet is the world library, and it provides the type of cultural diffusion that could not exist before its conception. Though it has its bad and good qualities, we cannot deny that its power has a great hold over society, and it is our civic duty to make sure that people all over the world are allowed access to it. Whether you are born in a big city in the lap of luxury in New York or a small farm village in Kenya, everyone has a right to be a part of the world stage. We are only as strong as our weakest link. And right now, our weakest link is a small 10-year-old girl whose parents died of HIV, who now has to raise her 2 brothers all on her own with no education. That is my conclusion. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. I hope that you will consider this as important of a topic as I do.